Hi guys, I wanted to test out my new webcam and I thought at the same time it'd be a good opportunity to check this out. And what is this? This is a replica of a sax which is in the British Museum that dates from the 10th century, which is the end of the Viking Age. And it's a special weapon because it's the only one that contains all 28 letters of the Anglo-Saxon runic alphabet inscribed into the blade. It's called the Rune Sax of Beagnoth because the name Beagnoth is inscribed on it, although it's not clear whether Beagnoth is the name of the smith that made it, the name of the person who owns it, or the name of the blade itself. Anyway, we'll have a look at it. First of all, though, we'll talk about what a sax is. It's essentially a 10th century short knife or short sword, maybe, and it was favoured by Saxons, which is why we got our name, Saxons. It came from this thing here. This is a sax, and we were well known for using it. In fact, a lot of the Germanic peoples were known for using them, so it's kind of a Germanic thing as well. There were various different kinds of sax. This one's quite a long one. I'll just open up the blade for you so you can see it. It's called a broken back sax because it's got the main spine here, and then it tapers off to the front of the blade. And I call this the front because this is the cutting edge here. This is what the blade edge. Some saxes were much smaller, some were about this long, and they were just utility devices. They were just for everyday use, for well, anything you might use a blade for, really. But this particular one was a prestige weapon. It was decorative, and you can see along the blade there, starting at the front. Let's see if I can get it to focus there. Come on, focus, focus, focus. Yes, okay. So starting there, and then all the way along, you can see the runes, all 28 of them in the Saxon runic alphabet. And then over this end, you get the name Beagnoth here. We're not totally sure what this small superscript here is. Academics are a bit unsure about what that is, but there's the name anyway, Beagnoth, in runes. So it's a prestige weapon for somebody with some wealth. It's unlikely it would have been used in combat, although maybe it would have been. Maybe they would have believed the runes could have given the blade magical powers to assist them in their smiting. Of course, this being a replica, it's not so good, really. Do you see here where the runes are? All of those runes are just indented in the steel on this replica, but on the original, they were all inlaid with copper, bronze and silver wire, which was very popular among 10th century Germanic blades in Scandinavia and England and hither parts of Europe. So you can imagine that this would have looked really beautiful. It would have been a fantastic piece of work, and you can see the original in the British Museum still. It was found in the Thames near Battersea in the late 19th century, and the person who found it sold it to the British Museum, so they take care of it now. But it's a really, really nice piece of our history and heritage, and I like to look at this sometimes just to admire the workmanship of or imagine what the workmanship would have been like on the original. It would have been quite a thing to own. Obviously somebody with some importance and wealth. Sax, what was it useful for? Obviously, apart from utility in battle, once somebody got past your spear point, then out came the sax, shield up, and then it's nice and short for close quarters work. You can give it a proper good smite over your shoulder and deliver a proper good chop to the foe and smite them from whence they came. So it's really nice for that. It's a good weight to it. It's not too heavy as well. That was the other good thing about them. They were nice and wieldy. They weren't cumbersome. They didn't weigh you down. They were they were very kind of flexible in their usage. So yeah, big chop to the face or the neck or the arm or anything of your opponent really, and it would have dealt quite a hefty blow. So this is the sax. Interestingly, sax just meant knife in Old English, but it has a common Germanic root. It's in Scandinavian languages as well. So for example, in Danish and Norwegian, a pair of scissors, I believe, is a sax. So there you go. It stands the test of time even to today. So there you go. The Rune Sax of Beagnoth. Real nice piece of English history and wider European history as well. And this is my replica, which I just keep around the house because it's a nice reminder of Germanic workmanship and European history at the Viking Age, which is really cool. Who doesn't like the Viking Age? So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you found it informative and useful, and if you can go to the British Museum and see it for yourself, so much the better. Thanks.